Give it the hoot, Nanny.
Live.
Hey everyone, welcome along to Shed Night. I think we'll call the show Shed Night in the off season during the Wednesdays. I just thought of that now actually. So it's a Shed Night where we have a bit of fun and catch up with a few speedway drivers, talk a bit of sim racing, and just catch up with everyone in general as well. So big welcome. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. Hope things are going well with you out there, my good friend, the voice of course, the online streaming that you get to watch every Sunday. My good friend, Bump and Run with Booker. Hey, Books, how are you?
Hey, mate, I'm good. It was a long intro via that time around, wasn't it? With the trying to introduce to you people some of the sim guys that are in the Capital RC Superstock E-Series that's running at the moment. We had a great night Sunday night, didn't we, mate? Man, God, there was some carnage. It was hard for me to keep up, actually.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're right. It was great. You know, the first night out of our Capital RC's 2023 Superstock E-Series. And well done, mate, on your commentary. You know, everyone has a good laugh. I know you got excited when we had the runoff as well. You couldn't help yourself. But that's what you bring. You bring the humor, you bring the fun, you bring the energy. And we just deliver what's on the track, the entertainment. And with the real guys that have joined us as well, a third of our field with a top class of 30 drivers, as you said at the intro there as well. So jump on the Kokpit Media Racing Facebook page. You'll see more information on there. Actually, over the last few days, to be honest, you'll see a lot of information that's been shared about the drivers through different social media sites, Dirtshot Creations. James Friedman's been sharing a few, and actually it's been well picked up by many other social media platforms. So, mate, it's been awesome. Tarns, good to have you on board watching. Henry Ford, Stefan Roygard. Stefan, I know the Roygard family extremely happy with your brother Cam. Seen you on the TV with Dad Dave, and I know from all the Speedway community up and down the country, you know, Cam's in training camp at the All Blacks. Well done to him and to the other four debutants in the ABs. Brad Wright, Scott Honeybone down in South, Steve Murray, Daniel Petrie, Phil Steiner. Yep, Horse is going to be joining us real soon, Phil. The list just goes on. We've got Adele watching, so you better watch yourself there. Horse, Adele's watching. Jace Coley, who was in the intro. Billy's son, Jace is watching from over in Australia. Bevan Giltrap as well. And yeah, the list just carries on, mate. But Mark Goodman, good to catch you, Mark. And well done on your achievement with Council and what you achieved there. Loz from Oz. Go Queensland. Big game tonight. Game 2, Suncorp Stadium. The Maroons and the Blues. And then, of course, this Saturday, FMG Stadium, 7:05. It's the Super Rugby Pacific title up for grabs. The informed Chiefs team who are lucky to get there. The Crusaders who demolished the Blues last Friday. So it's the Southerners versus the Northerners. The Crusaders, they're going for a 5-peat after winning 4 on the trot, or can the Chiefs win after winning it about 10 years ago. But the Bulu Bells will be out, mate. There is no tickets available. I'm going to be there, front row, the row 5 in the middle. So I'm looking forward to it.
I just can't handle those bells. I was watching the game the other night, and on the TV it was doing my head in, those bloody bells, I tell you. Oh my goodness, it's just so I'll have to go the Blues for tonight, because I've always been a Blues man. And a lot of people might not like this, but it's I'm back in the Crusaders for this weekend, mate. I tell you what else is happening. I saw a post come up today. Obviously, some people probably saw it earlier, that a new owner in the 87B Stanaway car for next season.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens there, won't we? Because we know what he told us on the show, but no one knows if it's going to happen or not, eh?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens, and we will see what happens, mate. Looking forward to it. Just bring it on. New season, and we'll see what happens. Let's catch up with our good friend. He's sitting there in the waiting room, mate.
Yeah, our winner from Sunday night's opening round of our Capital RC 2023 Superstock E-Series, brought to you by Cockpit Media and Dirt Shop Creations. Let's have a word with our man Dirt from Dirt Shop Creations, the winner of the opening round, mate. How good was that?
Hey boys, it was a good night. It was a really good night.
That's a flash cap. Look at this flash cap. Books, where's ours? Look at that.
Yeah, Tan's got one, mate. We didn't get one, eh? You know, hey, favouritism there, I reckon.
Yeah, I can get them, mate. Yep.
All right, done, mate, done. Dude, I know you put a lot of work, sleepless nights prior to the build-up to this over a couple of weeks, mate. You did massive load of work. All the boys at Kokpit and everyone behind the scenes that's racing the mod, thank you. There's just not a big enough thank you, but I know you've done a lot of work. I know Booker's done a lot of skins and liveries with it as well, but mate, you've just put like untold hours into this mod, and from all accounts too, when you get feedback from the real drivers, they love it, mate. It's just about perfect, just about, eh?
Yeah, that's been really cool to hear, actually, and just the way that they've adapted to it as well has been awesome. You know, like they only got access to it like a week out from you know, our first night on Sunday, and you know, like they were getting in there during the nights, during the week, and just putting the practice in, and you know, like come that first night, they're on the pace straight away. And you know, I think that showed with Zane being like 7 points clear of anybody else going into that final. So it's bloody awesome to see, actually.
It was quite amusing one to see that it was actually more the real drivers having a go at Zane, stopping him from winning, than the sim racing guys. It was that shocked me, actually, watching it from the commentary side of things. I expected our sim boys, right, we can't let one of these real drivers win the first meeting out, you know, but no, there's some big hits here coming in from some of those real drivers, eh? It's the rivalry between those guys and the competition is being fantastic, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's there for sure. You know, like they, you know, I think it was Keegan took a few shots at Zane through that third race, and it's definitely there. So it's be interesting to see how the rest of the series goes, to be honest.
Yeah. Dylan Marshall was after Keegan through it. So, you know, even though Keegan's and Ethan are both there representing the W, already you can see the W thing getting there and all the stuff. It's like, bring it on, you know. But like Book alluded to, traditionally over the years that we raced at Kokpit, you know, any newbie that gets on, you know, there is hell to pay because they ain't going to win it. And bloody Zane was going like hell. I tell you what, though, what's impressive for me is how quick these real drivers have adapted, eh? You know, it's unreal. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, to jump on and only have a week at it. I mean, like a lot of them have got previous sim racing experience and have raced like earlier versions of this mod on Fafeita 1 and that kind of thing. But to pick it up a week out and be straight up on the pace and competitive, and you know, in a lot of cases outpacing some of the regular full-time sim races, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, mate. Well, you must be glad, mate, all that time and effort that goes into making this mod. I mean, and the advancement. I mean, anyone that watches has been around the sim racing side of things and seen it at the start to see what we produced to what you produced on Sunday night. The hours and time, you must be glad that it was so successful on Sunday, mate, with yourself winning, but also everything sort of ran pretty smooth, and the stream was just outstanding. The guy doing the stream was just a bit of a legend, if you ask me. He was on the ball, really. No, he stuffed up.
We'll keep him on for another week anyway.
It's when you're used to commentating, 19, 20 cars, you think, oh, that's not too bad. This commentating stuff's easy, mate. Easy online. Then there's 30 cars, first corner, it's just carnage, and you're like, where do I go? And it was interesting.
It was the same on the track, mate. It was like with that many cars, you just didn't know where to go. And it didn't matter where you were on the track at any given time. There were cars around you just going everywhere. So, yeah.
Mate, it's and I got a little bit excited in the screaming and yelling down the mic at the runoff. With four car to end up at the end of the night with a 4-car runoff. That was pretty cool. So if you haven't seen it, people, you can go back to our YouTube or on our Facebook page here and just go through our videos, and you'll see Sunday night's racing. You can watch all the racing, and if you missed it, and you can see what's going to be coming up, because we've got round 2 this Sunday night. What's our round 2 there, dude?
Round 2's first of the big ones, actually. I think we're going straight into the South Island Champs. And that is at Woodford Glen.
Ooh.
So, it's we'll put first of the big ones on the line and then see who comes out on top.
It's funny, we're still getting requests from drivers that missed the post to sign up for this, so it's interesting. I think the next time we do one round, we're going to have a pretty big field of real drivers. I think we might be running 2 groups, so wouldn't that be cool to be able to do though?
And to be honest, like we had a big number interested this time around. Unfortunately, we had to cap it at 30, and so we only had those available spots. So there were guys that applied that missed out, unfortunately, and there was a few there that we wanted to have in, but for other reasons couldn't make it. They had other commitments and whatnot. So but I mean, like the crew of guys that we've got just bloody awesome. They fit in really well. The bench is there, and they're not scared to mix it up and anything. So I think we got a good crop, to be honest.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there, Dirt. Quick question: Scott Honeybone reckoned he picked your car as the best presented on Sunday night. You always turn up with an immaculate car. Mauro Goodley's got a question. He's asking for his son. Might be a bit hard to answer, but we'll give it a shot. Would the mod go on sale? Or will it stay invite only? Just asking, but at the stage, as you can see, book is going like this, so maybe not at this stage.
The sale thing's a little bit hard, just for a number of reasons and licensing things. It is a bit hard to do that. And I mean, hey, who knows? Like a year ago, we weren't expecting to open up the way that we have, so who knows, and then what's going to happen in the future, how open we make it and whatnot. But for now, it's remaining invite only, and we'll continue to do these driver invites for the different series, and it seems to be a good format for us that's working at the moment. So
awesome. All right, mate. Well, thanks for the update and for the catch-up. Again, congrats on winning your first outing for this whole new championship. Thanks to Capital RCs for sponsoring there for Keegan and the boys and everything like that. And, mate, bring on. We know that 10, 3 and 4 is going to be hard at the Glen for the South Islands.
Oh, yes.
I think I might just put the camera on that corner and leave it there for the whole race.
Yeah. It's a pretty safe bet. It's going to be action the whole time.
Then I'll have to say, Dirt's in the wall 3. Kin's in wall 3. Oh, everyone's in wall 3.
Yeah. You're a bit unlucky the other night there, Kins, because you were going quite well.
Yeah, it's just a little tap and you get spun out, you just readdress. And you notice when you go off or do anything wrong, trying to catch up, you're at the back. And,
Yeah.
mate, it's just one of those things, just like it in real life. And you just got to try and chase your tail and try and
We
get
just need to
through.
get
But
that Hartley
it's
tweaked a
racing.
bit, Kins.
I think so. We have to send it back down to Brian and get it a bit tweaked. I wanted to put a bit more RAM into it, a bit more megapixels and whatnot, megabytes. No, I don't know, bro. Gigabytes. That's what,
You might have to send it off to Tank, mate, because he went from the very rear of the field and won the feature. So
Tank.
yeah,
That
I
fella
think
he used
that
hacks.
Hartley's
He's got
working
hacks.
pretty well.
He's got hacks. That's his Hartley's. His hacks. Hackleys. He's got a Hackley engine, that fella.
Hackley.
Nah, good on him.
Exactly.
He's got a Hackley engine. Nah, good on him. He deserved to what you just said, Dirt, to come from the back and get
Yeah.
that feature because he wasn't having the best in the 3 heats, but hey, he got a new pedal, I think it was, but he's all good. 56 looks better than the 11M. Yeah, a lot of people have said that your tank looks outstanding there.
Horse
Old
like
Mr.
today.
Chris,
Likes.
was it Mr. Sexy? I think his name came up on the
Yeah, Mr. Sexy.
intro there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darren Rob, the 8M looks bloody awesome. Mate, all the cars look awesome. It's just a great privilege to be racing online with the real drivers because, like you said in this little chat, all those years gone back, who would ever thought we'd be doing the E-Series as we've done with the modifieds, Super Saloon. We had 1 or 2 there, Street Stocks, and now we're into the Superstock. We always knew the Superstocks was going to be a massive influx, and look at the numbers that are watching the viewing. So make sure you jump on board after 8 o'clock. We'll do it with our man Booker on YouTube, Facebook, and I think our Twitch.
Oh,
We
I
got
have
that
the
up and
Twitch. This
going.
thing going with the Twitch. I'm trying to fix it, but I just haven't had the time. I've been too busy getting the camper ready, mate. That's my problem. Wanting to live the life of luxury, you see. So I'm actually streaming live from the camper tonight. So how good's that?
Nice.
We're streaming
Okay,
live
good.
from the camper, and we'll see how we go. But yeah. But hey, we better move on, I suppose. We've got horse waiting in the backyards there, and I'm sure Dirt will be happy to have us sit around and listen to that as well. But thanks for coming on, mate, and congrats on the win, and thanks for all the hard work and time that you've put in to have the mod working and getting it done right for us. So cheers, brother.
What's good about this Booker is he's not actually holding the camera for a change. He's sitting in front of a camera joining us. Traditionally, he's holding our camera and doing the work with us when we're out and about
Well,
at the
and
track.
sometimes
So
he has
thank
the
you.
same problem as Horse had, didn't it, Kins, where the battery goes flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well, it's a fixed camera now, so I won't have that problem again.
You're right, Scott. I'm going to get an 8-in-1 exhaust when Dirt updates the model one day. I'll get their flames coming out the back. And yes, I am sending my car. It's down at Rees at the moment, Daniel, so I should get it back for online on Sunday.
I was actually going to do that for this round and have it for my car with the flame coming out
Oh,
the
no.
back. Yeah.
Mate, you would have won every race. I would have sat behind you just looking at the flames.
Well, that was the idea, you see, was to put people off with that flame coming out the back. But I just ran out of time in the end, so slapped the Ford Y onto that Humphreys chassis, and it came up all right. So
looks good, bro. Looks good.
Okay, mate. We'll move on, and thanks for coming on, Dirt, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Sweet as boys. Have a good night.
Cheers, bro. Yes. Thank you. You too, eh?
Thanks.
All right. Ross
It's getting
Ashby
hard to hear,
sitting
Kins. The
there.
rain's starting to come down.
Oh,
Let's bring him in anyway, eh? Here he is. Let's get into
hey,
it.
Ross, how are you?
Yeah, good mate. Yourself?
Yeah, we're good. Like you said, every time you catch up with us too, we just never stop, mate. We just keep talking to people. We just enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, no, you're busy boys, all right? Just the way you like talking.
We have to get you out home, mate. Jump in the sim, have a go at racing. You've watched some of it last Sunday, and that's what Dirt NZ was talking about. So here's a big seat, mate. I know you're fit in. Rip around home and jump in.
I did watch a bit of it on Sunday. It was pretty impressive to watch, all right? Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, I can only imagine the amount of work that goes into that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, bro. The good thing about it, if you're an accident, just push the escape. It's already fixed, and you get back out on the track and carry on.
Yeah, you can go racing and don't even get your hands steady.
You can get hurt though. I remember years ago I was sitting there and I had a wheeled chair when I was racing, and I leaned right into the corners. I turned and fell out my chair. So
Didn't you have your harness on?
No.
Hey, mate, you mentioned racing. Talk about your racing season. You had a good racing season. You enjoyed yourself as always.
Yeah, no, we did. We had a pretty, we didn't only done about 10 meetings, I think. Wasn't a huge season, but everything we'd done, went real good. We're sort of up in the top 6, in most of the meetings we went to. Reliable, starting races, finishing races. We didn't have any DNFs. Had a real good, enjoyable season. The rain put a bit of a damper on it, but what we did do was good. Yeah, got to drive a couple of different cars, jumped in a couple of Pollock's cars, a couple of Rees cars, and it was good. It was a good season. Yeah, just sort of dragged out a little bit getting into May there, but just everyone trying to get things done with the rain and that, But I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good.
Mate, what you're doing is also representing the tanker fans. To see your tank out there, you hear it coming down the straight and going around the corner, mate. So for all the fans that love tanks, you're still out there hard. It's been 10 years in the tank?
Yeah, I've been 10 years in my tank that I've got now, but I've done I think I've done like 6 or 7 years in that KP tank. So I've been in tanks since 2005, I think. So coming up 18 years, I've been racing the old tankers. And that's why I enjoy it. I mean, I know, Pete Rees was saying to me, get into one of his cars and that. And when I drove that 777 car at Huntley, it's definitely a rocket ship. But that's what I just like my tank because it is different, and I enjoy it. It's built for me. It's comfortable. I don't get hurt in it, and that's just what I'm doing. I won't go to anything different. I don't think.
It could certainly take the bloody hits, can't it? Based on that right turn at Palmy teams this year.
Yeah. The good thing that came out of that for me was it was a big hit and there was a lot of damage to my car, but I basically walked away. I had no, I was a little bit stiff, but I mean, everybody probably was after Palmy teams, and the good thing about that was I walked away from that and no injuries at all, and definitely done a lot of damage to it, but I think probably do the same for any car with a pull out like that, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it's it'd be interesting. Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of the tank myself. I mean, I even put your tank in the game, so I'd got all the pictures from your chassis, and I'd made that chassis, and we've got the horse chassis tank in the RF2 game. So you can choose between that or a Pajewski tank or a Rees tank. So. But I've always been a huge fan, as Kins knows, of the horse tank. That's for sure, from day dot.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's different to KP's tanks, and it's different to Pete's tanks, I guess. And it's just a sort of standalone car. I mean, people that are right into Speedway would see the differences. A lot, the crowd probably think they're all the same, but if you go and have a look around them, they're definitely subtle differences to the three. Tanks that are sort of racing out there. I mean, there's other bits of tanks that are around too, but that's cool. I love my old tanker.
Is there how many actually left now out there and racing in the supers now? You've got yourself, got Kerry Pajewski. Is there who else is in one?
Cunningham. Is it 6P Cunningham down in Palmy?
Oh yes,
just
Jamie Ferguson
now with this one, Jamie Ferguson. But I mean, I can go to probably. I could race the whole season and go racing and not run into another tank. There's how many are out there.
You couldn't do that with Rees, could you?
Me and Jamie probably come across each other a bit because he's in Auckland, I'm down here. But I mean, there's not many tanks go to the meetings, that's for sure. So it's not hard to pick me out.
Mate, you actually hear you before you pick you up, but after that incident, people saw all your updates. You were doing the progress on that tank because it's your passion. It's what gets you around the track and what gets the fans to love what you do, because it's like Booker said, it's the tank, but the work you've done to get it back up to shape and ready to go again. Mate, there's a lot of time in the shed and there's a lot of welding going on.
Yeah, I sort of thought I wasn't going to do any updates, and I thought I'll just get going and turn back up. And I sort of thought to myself, well, a lot of spectators and people in that on Facebook, they probably don't see that side of it, And I thought, well, when I chopped it up and I just kept cutting and kept cutting and kept cutting, and in the end, I was like, oh, I have to put this grinder away, or there's been nothing left. But I ended up fixing a few bends from earlier on in its life. But I just thought I'd put that up and just give people a bit of an insight to the work that does go in, like I think I've said before, I was well over 100 hours I put into that after pumping. And then for it to come back out, I mean, I think word had got back to me that people thought, oh, that's it, you won't see him again this season. Even a couple of my crew were like, oh, that'll be us, won't it, bro? And I'm like, nah, I'll be back. And I was trying to get going for the New Zealanders, but that was just too much of an ask. So basically got it out. I think I'd done one meeting and then I was into Auckland teams. So yeah, it was like, oh no, what's going to happen to it this time? And I say, yeah, I actually quite enjoy the working on it, and and it's sort of like it was worth nothing like it was, so it had to be fixed. So I was into it.
Yeah, mate. Teams, I know you love teams. Let's touch on the Busters. Obviously, the boys are pretty stoked when they got a checkered flag at Huntly at the end of the season there. But mate, that's your passion, that's your love, teams. What's going on with you and the Busters?
Yeah, no, you did right. That checkered flag was that was good to get that, and we may not have been performing, but we've definitely been trying. And for the boys to get that checkered flag and go out and get a win, I mean, yeah, just made the last couple of seasons where it's been pretty tragic. It sort of made it pretty good. It was nice to get a win, and like finish off our teams racing season for that season, I guess, with a win. And I mean, really, that Kiki race, we're only half a lap out of that. We could have won against Kiki. I mean, I know you can say half lap, whole lap, whatever, but we were close in that race, and bringing couple of those younger fellas in was good, and that's what we wanted to do. And I mean, they're there now for the coming season too. So
they really stood up too, horse.
What's that, mate?
Those young fellas really stood up at that Pollock teams 1-2, I thought.
Yeah, they did. Yep. And like, I think it sort of revitalized us a little bit. Like I felt good to have them there. It was strange not having Kerry there, but Kerry. Yeah, we decided between me and Kerry that I was going to do it and he was going to stand down, and Kerry was there in full swing doing off in the pits, and it was good, yeah. And both those guys raced real well. Everybody did, Ryan, and it was good. I think that those other four guys, apart from myself, I think they're definitely going to be the Busters moving forward.
Yeah, mate. And Thomas Jr. Hurunui Thomas has actually commented here. Tank always 100. You are a master, mate. Love your mahi. Credit to you and Adele and your crew. And catch up soon, buddy. So, heat's going on there. Adele's had a bit of a laugh because I see earlier on in there, Andrew Dredden asked, hey, horse, how are the police in Waihi? Do they like the bus? So everyone's having a bit of a laugh here, man. It's some expense here. But, mate, Busters, what's happening next year? What are you going to do there? What do you see what happens, I suppose? Just watch the space, or what's going on?
Yeah, we've sort of been a bit quiet. We've the boys are sort of just dispatched out into their winter break, but I'm sort of trying to step aside from the driving, and I'm just going to jump in with Thomas on the management side of it, and me and Thomas are going to work together and try and get things a bit better and try and get these guys into good stead for the season, and try and get a good camp going, and try and work out what we can do to sort of get back to where we were, I guess. And Thomas and Wayne from Pollock Cranes, which I mean, they're huge for the Busters. They're coming back on for another season with us. So we're just gonna, in the next probably 2-3 weeks, we're just gonna start working through some stuff and try and get try and turn the Busters around and try and get us up to the top of the table rather than floundering around down the bottom where we have been. But like I've always said, we're putting in a massive effort like everybody else, so we just need something to click or something to work out, and we'll be back there. And so my role this year is I'm going to step away from the driving and just jump in with Thomas and get into that management side and try and get it going, and try and get some wins,
Yeah. So you're still going to have some role with the Busters team, obviously, but not necessarily with the helmet on and behind the wheel at this stage. But I know if the team comes up short and need another driver, I know you'll be the first guy to put your hand up to jump in there. But good on you, mate. You're going to give back to a team that you've been part of for how long now? Long time, eh? For a very long time.
Yeah, well, it started in 2002 for me with the Busters, and then obviously we had that little spell when Bay Park, when we went at Bay Park, and I'd done sort of 3 or 4 or 5 seasons with the Rebels. But yeah, it's the Busters for me. If I went I wouldn't go to and get involved in any other team. The Busters is me, and when I end up walking away from that, I guess that'll be it. I'm sort of. And it's no different to rugby guys, they've got their clubs and all Blacks and that. They end up going back to their grassroots teams, that's just what you do. It's in your life, So yeah, I'm Busters all day, but I just definitely want to see some success there, So
yeah, mate. Awesome.
So
Busters still #1 fan. Now you carry on, Books.
Yeah, I'm say so. And on the apart from Speedway this year, you got married as well, mate, eh? I mean, they even moved the New Zealand champs around your wedding date this year, eh? How was that, getting married and
yeah, that was a little bit of a scary moment there, actually, when the New Zealand's rained off the first time and they called the drivers into the club rooms and they said, look, you guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to have another go at this tomorrow, or do we come up with another date? And a lot of the guys were like, well, we've tried twice. Let's go for another date. And then we were sitting there and he Red popped up and he goes, oh, well, the date's going to be anniversary weekend. And me and Kerry sort of looked at each other, and because Kerry is my best man, and we looked at each other, and there's probably probably easy 20 drivers in that club rooms that were coming to my wedding. And we were like, oh, no. And Kerry said, oh, you're going to have to tell Adele. And I thought to myself, no, these guys will come to my wedding. They won't do the New Zealands. But then I think Thomas or Wayne might have had a bit of a word to Red, and then Red popped up and he goes, well, we can't fucking have it anniversary weekend because some cunts get married. So that was good. But yeah, I got married to Del, so it's all good. She treats me like a king. Yeah, we're just at the moment we're just enjoying following Adele's young fella's playing rugby, and he's pretty good at his game, So we're just following him around. We see old Reno around a bit there, so we're just going around the Waikato following that. Sometimes I have too many beersies after the game, but
sometimes I heard it was more than sometimes.
No, it's good to have a break from Speedway, and then the next couple of weeks I'll get back into it and start getting this car sorted out again for another round, I guess.
Yeah, mate. Good on you. All right, before we let you go, and you mentioned rugby, your Chiefs team. I know you love your Chiefs team. How much on Saturday they're going to knock over the Crusaders, bro? Go on, put a score on it.
Oh, I'm Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs are going to win it, but those Crusaders were sharp last weekend, weren't they? I think it's going to be close. I think the Chiefs will get up. I'll be in a home crowd and all that, and it's got to be the Chiefs. To be honest, I've been a bit slack with the old Super Rugby, but yeah, Chiefs, isn't it?
Do you find? I find when I start going to a lot of club rugby, like in the season, I start going to a lot of club rugby, and I watch around here in the Hawke's Bay. I find some of the Super Rugby a bit boring after watching
club rugby.
Club rugby.
Yeah.
Do you find that the club rugby is just really good in this country at the moment, eh?
Yeah, I'm like watching like Torben's in under 20s or
under 21,
21s, yeah. And they play some bloody good rugby, and it's like and for the team that we're following, they're a made up team from around the valley here, and they've gone over to the Waikato, and they're playing some big teams in the Waikato, and they're sitting 6 on the table. It's good to watch, and and like we're going to that most weekends, but then I can come home and not watch Super Rugby. So I guess you're right. It's kind of like I guess it's different when you know somebody that's playing too. So.
Right.
No,
But it's
awesome,
always good to catch up on the club room through a beer, later, hey, bro. You know it's good. Eh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. A beer would be good, but I normally have a couple. So
I know. And
I've got a personal chauffeur, so I'm all good.
You're going to see horse duck in a minute because somebody's going to get thrown, eh?
And even the dog Tank comes along when we catch up at the club rooms. Tank's in the car. Yeah, and the old Tank, the dog's in there, but it gets to go do its little business, jump back in, and off we go. And then he went out to a blue light party thing. Some blue light.
I probably shouldn't say too much. Somebody might ring the SPCA, but that night that we started off with you at the club rooms, we didn't get home till like 1 o'clock that morning, and Tank had done a 12-hour stint in the wagon. We did go and let him out for a pee in that every couple of hours and take a bag of chips and a can of Coke out to him. But
as long as he wasn't the one driving home.
Yeah. She's a Thomas reckons she's a good Uber as well, bro. She's a good Uber.
Well, we had a little bit of a busters function at Pollock's. I'm letting out a few stories here, but we had a bit of a busters function at Pollock's a couple of months back or something, and we were at Pollock's yard having a few beers, and then we ended up going around to Steve McDonald's. He's got a massive, awesome speedway man cave.
Yeah.
So we ended up around there, and it was like, I don't know, getting on to midnight, and me and Thomas Hiranui we're pretty beersed up by then, and Kerry and Thomas from Pollock. So we ended up taking Thomas from Taronga back to Tapuna, and I said to Del, because Wayne Slater and Dave, they were down at Rotowedi at Dave's flat, at Dave's batch, and I said to Del, should we go to Rotowedi? And she sort of looked at me, and we're like, okay, let's go. So we're off to Rotowedi. And we went to spend the night at Rotowedi Lakes with them, having a few beers, and we got to bed about 4, got up at 7, back to Waihi. So that's where Thomas's Uber driver comes in. I'm painting a bad picture for myself, actually.
Mate, you're enjoying yourself. You're living life to the fullest, whether it's on the track or at home behind the scenes with Adele. You're out there enjoying it, and I know that we'll catch up more around the footy field when we see young Torben doing what he does. He's a bloody good player, and wish him all the best, and the boys that are made up of Pai Waihi for this Valley Under-21s team. And we'll catch up soon, bro. But thanks. I'll be letting you go before Adele throws something at you and it gets a bit embarrassing, eh?
Yeah. No, good on this, and keep up what you're doing. You guys do an awesome job, and you guys are stars of Speedway now too, mate. It's awesome to see, So
we love it. We love it.
Good to see you get appreciated for the effort you guys put in. So keep it up, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll catch up at the Baker's for a coffee. We'll get you a coffee. We'll see you there.
Cheers,
bro. See ya. Ross Ashby, everyone. Horse sharing a few stories that no one really knew about, but there you go. You got the news from him right out of the horse's mouth. Excuse the pun, but he's jumping out from the seat. From the Busters as a team driver. He's actually going to help Thomas and really wants to develop the future of the Busters. Also do a management role. He's been there before, actually, when he had a bit of a break from teams, and he was alongside Rodney Wood back in the years gone by.
He's shown the passion, Kins, doesn't he? He's got the passion for the Busters, so you'll see that come through, I think, this year. If he's in the management side of it with Thomas, but that passion will show through with the drivers and on the track too, we hope.
Someone that shows the passion on the track that gets you and I excited, mate, every time we're on the sideline watching a race around the track with tracks like we go nuts.
No, I tell you, hey, such a good young talent. Let's bring him in, eh? Hopefully his mic's working. We haven't tested or anything yet, so let's fingers crossed. He's a bit of a professional. He'll work it out. How's it going, Ethan?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, look at that. Yes, perfect. Straight off the bat.
Perfect day.
Hey.
Congrats, mate. Congrats, bro. Gonna be a dad come Christmas, eh? Again.
Another sprog on the way, so life's about to get really real now, isn't it? Super cool. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you can't beat him, mate. And I see the young fellow got a big boy haircut.
Yeah, he finally got his first proper chop today, so it wasn't actually too bad, to be honest. I think the barber was quite surprised, so yeah, it's cool. good to see.
Mate, you had a stellar race season. What more can you say, really? Up on the podium a few times, alongside with your brother. Well, actually, you might as well say your brothers in some sense at the New Zealand's 240s. We're sitting next to Jake Baker, mate. He was jumping out of the chair and everything. He was 100 miles down to the pits. It was just unbelievable. You had a real good season, eh?
Yeah, we did have a good season. This, I guess, puts down to hard work in the shed, and as everyone says, well, Dad's a big part of it. Races are won in the shed, preparation is key. Without the maintenance and preparation, you might as well not turn up. So, I guess work hard and race harder and get the rewards. And obviously, it's good package deal that we've got. So yeah, it's been a good season, all right.
Yeah, mate. It has been a great season, and even with all the, you guys have done some fair travelling too, haven't you, to get around to get the racing into this season? Is it did you have Bubs and the missus come with you to most meetings, or was it you have to go by yourself there?
They come to quite a few. Towards the end of the season, they sort of dropped back a bit, just as getting a bit colder, and we made a few trips up to Gizzy, which was a 9-hour trek in the end because we got a long way up. But no, they were definitely at probably, I'd say 90% of the meetings. So yeah, it's cool to have Archie and Brittany there and support and whatnot. So yeah.
And what about? Oh, sorry, Kid, go.
No, carry on, box.
So is it another new car next season, or is yours sold, or have you what's happening on that front with your car this year?
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's sold. I haven't been a dad since Huntley teams. Just been a bit too busy in that, but no, like Horse said, it's sort of good to get a life out of Speedway, especially having a kid and having a business. It's sort of hard to juggle all three things at once. So for me, I sort of shelved Speedway for the first part of the off season, and then much to everyone's disgust, but then I get back into it and make the car brand new. But in terms of the car, same car as last season. We only done 20 odd meetings. Well, we've done 26 in our logbook, but we had quite a few rainouts. So I think we've done 20 meetings. The car's still brand new. Just needs a refresh from Hartley for the motor, and then I guess reboard the car, and we'll be back into it.
I think that the success in you guys and your brother announced it too on the infield at the New Zealand Champs at Huntley. If you want to beat us, you might as well join us, kind of thing, with the chassis and the Hartley engine. The combination seems to be much spoken about, because we've interviewed a few guys on our show over the months gone by who currently do race a Rees car. Most of them are like selling them, want the new one, and some of them want a Hartley. They pretty well took on board what you said on the infield, you guys?
Yeah, well, that's sort of they're sort of, well, Dad's cars have been known for quite a few years now, especially in the stock car game, but sort of Superstock sort of dropped off because obviously Dad wasn't as competitive as though, like, he's still competitive but not winning what he is now. And then now I guess Asher and Dad have made those new cars, and they're, in my opinion, they're streets ahead of anything else. Not being rude to anyone else, but only because we can race them and develop them. And then, like, say we go and chuck a big power plant in like the Hartley VK56, and that just sort of blows a few things out the water, and we're into it again. So, but no, they're definitely a step ahead of everyone else, and that's why I say there's no disrespect. That's just because of pure knowledge and pure testing. Really, every weekend we test the cars to their maximum, capacity, and go from there. Really, keep on building.
It must help having so many out there, so you're getting feedback from so many different angles to develop these cars. Has Dad got something else planned, something different again this year? Because every year he seems to come out with something a little bit different or a tweak here and there. Can you release anything? Has Dad got anything in his head that he's going to tweak this for next new season ones, or?
Honestly, if I could tell you, I would. But like I say, I haven't been there for quite a few months now, so I've been out there for like half an hour maybe since over the period of 2 months. But I honestly couldn't tell you what the plans are happening out there, but no doubt Dad would have had a sleepless night dreaming about Speedway, and would have woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning and went outside, went in the shed and built a creation, and no doubt he was something going on. I honestly couldn't tell you though. If I could, I would, but yeah.
You have to agree with Tracy Vincent's comment here, and the sound music to your ears. We're talking about the sound of the engine, the flame coming out the back, and You know, and we were talking about sim racing earlier on in the show, and our mate who won the race was going to actually put the flames on his bloody car, and no one else would pass it because we would sit behind and checking out the flames. You know, it just gets you excitement when you see them boom out the back. Hey, books, you know what it's like. We're like, yeah, it's just next level, eh? It's bloody awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. Well, obviously, because V8s are renowned for their deep, throaty, sound, and they like to rev, and I guess we've still got that deep sound, but we've got a bit of a high pitch tone too on it, and obviously it flipping breathes fire. So, but yeah, they're definitely once again saying different. No one else has really thought of that, and like it's just they're flipping pretty cool machines.
Did you happen to see any of our Sundays racing the other night with the sim stuff at all, or?
I think I popped on for maybe between 5 and 10 minutes, and I was actually quite intrigued about it. I'm always following you guys.
I just wondering because our mate Dirt from Dirt Shop Creations, old Steve, he went for 48 hours without sleep preparing and building chassis, and we built those. And there was 3 different Rees chassis that had to go under the 3 or 4. Might have been 3, I think, different Rees chassis, because there's different versions that Pete's got and different drivers. I think Dylan Marshall's is different to Todd Hemingway's, and then we thought, we better bring in the dad's one, the latest ones as well, because that's what me and Kinser are driving. But did you happen to see them at all? See what your thoughts were on that, or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had a good look. I didn't reply back to your message, obviously, but no, they're cool looking things. And obviously, like I say, Steve spent a bit of time doing that. Obviously, 48 hours no sleep, that's a fair bit of time to do that. So, but I guess and to do it off only photos, like he actually isn't. I guess he's seen the car properly, but to do it off photos is flipping an awesome job, So hats off to him. Yeah, it's one of those. I sort of look at it, what you guys do, and it's like one day I'll have a rig where I can sort of do that kind of stuff. I used to enjoy the old R-Factor days, and I used to do it around here, but I need sort of a better setup on that, and one day I'll get that, and I'll be racing alongside you.
Well, we're going to have the Pollock Crane sim racing experience at the track next year out of my camper, so with VR, so you'll have to jump in and have a crack and let the fans race you, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cool. Yeah, man.
Oh, mate, we'll bring it down to McVerry's down at Palmy Teens, and everyone can have a jump in a Giants car and knock around with each other. Yeah, we'll stick it up down there when we come down and catch over your fair bloody next year, and tickets are selling out pretty good, which there's still some available, obviously, and everything like that is very similar to a Ferrari V8, as Moto Goodley would say. The sounds just turn you on with the cars. Moto Goodley, Rees rat rods. There's just so many comments coming in here. Scott Honeybone, hey Ethan, have you haven't heard what sort of horsepower the 8-into-1 VK56 put out? Have you? Cause they sound unreal. Yeah, they do sound unreal. A lot of power coming out of your cars.
He's asking, do you know what is that? How much extra power you're getting out of the 8-into-1?
I think there is figures out. I haven't, once again, if I could tell him, I would love to tell him, but it's probably a question for the old boy. I sort of get told those figures, but I don't really take them on board, because at the end of the day, if we could have 1,000 horsepower, we're not be able to drive it. So, but I know they did gain quite a bit of torque. I'm not too sure the figure, but it did gain quite a bit of torque, and I think a bit of top end as well. So, but once again, I couldn't tell you the exact figure, but definitely made gains. Definitely, yep.
We caught up with the old boy a couple of weeks back, and people are asking questions about obviously the UK thing. There's always that chance when you've won the World 240s and you got on the podium with your brother, the 1, 2, or 3. They may make that venture. I know Dad said it definitely won't be happening anytime soon. Just too busy in the shed building cars, especially with the Rees Tour coming up in March 24 as well. So, you got to get that all aside before you may commit to somewhere over in the UK and do that eventually, I would guess.
Yeah, it's something I always would say to myself, if I did ever get the chance to win the 240s, I would go to the UK. But obviously, just buying a business and having a young baby and that, I sort of can't justify leaving work for 2 or 3 weeks and leaving the kid. Well, obviously, arching that will come, but it'll still be like it wouldn't be manageable. So I sort of said, pretty much as soon as I won the event, I was like, I can't go to England. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't go. And then Dad was like, no, we'll go. And I was like, nah, I can't go. So basically, I think Dad sort of made his call off that, and then but definitely one day I will be going. Yep, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've got a long career to come yet, mate. You're only young still, so is there any difference? Is there a big difference between, say, yourselves car and Ash's? Because Ash's really seems to just scream. It's just, or is that just the way he drives?
I think it's just the way he drives. He's always foot to the flat, foot flat. Sorry, but no, like from the motor to the end of the exhaust tip is the exact same. The only thing different is he's got HPC coding on it, but I don't think that makes it sound any louder. But I think it's just how he drives it, and he's always foot flat. It's definitely, but you're dead right though. When he's on track, obviously, and I'm in the pits and that, I can hear him over anyone else.
Yeah.
And even in the video, when we're all racing around together, you can hear his car, but you can barely hear ours. You know, so it's he's definitely screaming a whole lot more than we are.
Those motors, well, like I say, those motors must be strong. Listening to the revs that bloody thing gets put under, I tell you.
Yeah, definitely strong motors. Yeah.
So how's the new business going too? Even you bought a new business. So let the fans know what's your business you've got, and how's that tracking for you?
So most people would know it as Hart's Automotive Refinishes, which is what Jake Baker had. He's had it for 10, 11 years. So it's just a business that paints cars, solely cars. Do the odd machinery here and there, but mainly cars. And we do probably 95% of the car dealers in Palmerston North here. So we've got quite a good customer base. And it's really busy. It takes up most of my time. I work a little bit late tonight, but I sort of work late most nights, much to Brittany's disgusting there. But I guess it's sort of one of those things, you sort of got to make it or break it, really, yeah. And while the work's there now, because obviously we're classed as a recession, we've sort of got to make the most up now, just in case tomorrow it goes quiet. So, but no, it's like I say, we've got work fucking coming out of here, so it's good though. It's what we need.
That's awesome,
mate. You know, let's go back to Huntley, and how good was it to see that Gisborne development team come through? You know, those young guys just didn't hold back, and I know it's a concept that your dad spoke to us about, and I know Huntley in their new season on their new calendar are going to have that development team stuff happening there, which I think it's a bloody good thing. It's about the growth, and we're just talking to Ross Ashby, and you heard that before, the role he wants to step into with helping out Thomas and building up the busters. He's busters right through. You know, he's been there since 2002, did a little stint with the Rebels, but he's busters, it's in his blood. But what your dad was talking about in that development thing, you know, you go back to that young team that was at Huntley, mate, they didn't hold back, especially against you guys. No,
and that sort of, for me, that was the main reason to go into that event, was for them to experience what we do. And like I say, they went out there in that first change race against Waikato, and I sort of thought this is going to be a bit of a sort of a write-off in a way towards like Waikato's way, but flipping, I was surprised, man. Those young guys went out there and you can just tell by their general individual racing. They're hard racers, they're competitive, they put their helmet on and they go out that pit gate and no one's their friend. They're into it from fucking green flag to chicken flag, you know. So and you got those two James brothers, and like we've still got more to come from Gizzy, I believe. So, you know, it's gonna be next season's going to be even better and bigger. Like I say, Huntley's going to get with us and get some more development going, and it's probably worth every other track doing that too, because there's a few tracks sort of dropping off the radar because they haven't got that backing coming through, and it's a bit of a shame really, because, you know, look at Nelson, say 5-10 years ago, they were the team to beat, and now they can't even field a team of 4, you know what I mean? So it's sort of good to have that backing and keep on progressing that backing too.
Yeah, one of those bloody boys, they put a hell of a hit on your old man, didn't they, eh? Holy heck.
Yeah, Brody James, he's like I say, he's a talented driver, and he took an opportunity, and he had almost won in the race, to be honest, because that sort of, obviously that got rid of Dad, and we were sort of struggling already by then, but luckily Josh Prentice kept on going and got us the win. But like I say, those are moments that can win a team's chance, and he took his moment and made the most of it, really.
Oh, it was pretty spectacular. Me and Kins were down the end there, and we just went, what the holy hell?
Thinking, where'd that come from?
Yeah, it was huge. I haven't seen a hit like that. Like there was no wall involved. It was just bang, bang, and boom, he was on his lid. You know, it was, wow. Even Pete said when we had him on that week, you know, I don't know what happened. Just...
Yeah, pretty much after that race, he sort of asked me if he rolled, and I was like, you done like a bit of a pirouette. He's like, I didn't realise that. I thought I spun around and sort of, you know, he was I think he was quite stunned by it, to be honest.
That whole
pretty cool.
event was actually a really good teams event, wasn't it? That Pollock Cranes teams event that down there.
I think everyone sort of wrote it off just because obviously the time of it was quite late in the year, obviously with the rain out previously, one of the many rainouts they had. But no, like I say, it was actually probably one of the better teams events of the season, in my opinion. It was pretty brutal. I mean, we suffered quite a bit of damage in every single race we done. I still managed to make the final, luckily, but we had damage left, right, and centre, man, and it was a hard night because we were just fixing cars from race one to even loading the cars up. We're cutting cars up and making them fit in the trailers because they were pretty bent.
Yeah.
You know, when you put it into perspective, Ethan, you know, as you on the show tonight, as an example, you did Palmy, right? You don't hold back. You put on a big show at McVerry's. You got a massive crowd following. And then, of course, you go up to Auckland. You do it all again. And then about a month later, you come down to bloody Huntley. You do it all again. Yeah, that's a huge effort. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a big effort. And, I mean, I guess I'm at that stage now, and not that I really want to, but I'm at that stage now where I've done many team races, not saying I'm flipping good or anything, but I've done quite a few team races now that Huntley and Auckland will probably eventually become not as frequent for me because these young guys coming through. And that's the whole point of that development team to come through because Dad's not here forever. He's probably got another 5 or so years left in him. So we need those young guys to comfortably step up and know they can do it, you know, just as well as he does it. So, but you're right, though. It's definitely a big effort doing 3 teams events, but I obviously wasn't the only one. You know, Tim and Dad both all done Auckland, Huntley and Palmy. But like I say, eventually there'll be a time there where I can step aside and comfortably say, righto, you know, Brody, you're up, or, you know, Tyler James, you're up, get into it. Like, you get into it, you know, don't muck around type deal. So, but no, it's definitely a big effort doing 3 teams events in one season.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty, you know, when you're thinking, we spoke to Zane Riddick, I think, just a little while back. I think it was Zane, and
Yeah, it was
he
Zane
talked
Martin.
about it, just the buzz of being out there, you know, and it's just next level. And for us who sit there and the cheers, what you guys do, what you need to do, and get your car over the line, it's just unreal. Actually, it's a hell of a skill, you know. And dare I say it, you know, it takes, even though Rebecca's racing, but she'll excuse this, takes a lot of balls, you know. Big kahunas to get in there and put yourself out there and amongst all of those thousands of fans that are screaming, whether they love you, whether they hate you, whether they want you to get smashed or you smash someone. It takes a lot, you know. So
No, I think you did right with that. Like you're at centre stage. It's like an All Black going there for a test match and makes a big mistake. He gets ridiculed over Facebook and everything else, and his name's Shane. But if you do that in a team race, because it's the exact same thing, you know.
Yeah,
if you cut the grass to take someone out, you get absolutely flipping hammered on social media, and you feel like an absolute muppet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it takes a whole lot of balls to do the sport, but it definitely takes a bit to face the media and the criticism that comes with it too.
Yeah. It's unfortunately social media has wrecked a lot of it for I think when it comes to that, you know, people sort of get their bully hats on or whether they want to get on with the social media, and you know, it'd be good if that was just not part of the sport or any sport, but unfortunately it's there, and like you say, you guys have to also take that on the shoulder. You know, you've got to not only drive, but you've got to deal with all the crap that happens on social media as well. So it takes a lot, not just the driving, but that as well, I think takes broad shoulders as well, mate, you know. So hats off to the way you guys handle it and don't get involved in it either.
No, it's we sometimes, you know, you put some comments on Facebook and sort of just leave it at one comment, but yes, it's the Facebook stuff you don't mind because they're genuine people that have their names exposed. But when it's on the McGaw stuff with a random name, it's like, who are you, mate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, put your random on McGaw's and then say it, but they don't. So, but like I say, you just have to keep a cool head and forget about them and just go out their next meeting and prove them wrong and absolutely blow it out the water top.
I actually didn't realise McGaw's was still going, to be honest.
No, I normally hop on it after a big event or after saying it's gone down at the team's event or saying, and you sort of hop on to see what everyone's saying. But once again, it's always the same old people going on there and blabbling on. But yeah.
It'll always be like that, you know. You're not going to please every bloody bugger in the bloody world. It's just what it is. But what I like about you guys is you do it out there on the track. You leave it out there on the track. What happens on the track stays out there on the track. You know, it doesn't need to filter on down and carry on into the pits, because it's not only you, but it affects your family. It affects the crew, the people who do all that hard work. And if you've got your sponsors sitting around with you, 9 times out of 10, that they're supporting you, the effect is just a massive roll-on effect. And what you guys are doing, you're entertainers. You are bringing the people to the track to buy tickets, put their bums on seats, and enjoy what you deliver week in and week out. Is entertain the fans. And sometimes you need to reiterate and say, look, that's where it needs to bloody stop sometimes, because these guys are now not only putting their lives on the line, but they've got families to think about. They're digging deep into their pockets, because this sport isn't bloody cheap. Maybe next time, think about what you say before you type, you know. There's always keyboard warriors, but take a backward step sometimes and bloody think about it before you open what do you say, Booker? Your fly trap or something like that.
Engage your brain before you open your shit mixer.
That's the one. I knew it was something.
That's it.
That was it. Yeah, love it.
But I take that off to you guys for what you're doing. I think you're a very, very talented driver, Ethan. I watch you on the track, and I think your car control is just next level. It truly blows my mind when I watch you race. Sometimes I think you're an incredible driver, mate. I really do. And I think that if a young fella come, they could learn a lot off you as well, even because you're only young yourself too. So to have the talent you have at such a young age, I think it's incredible. So have you ever thought about mentoring any people coming through mini stock driving like that, or just too busy? Or if some mini stock driver company said, oh look, would you like to help me out mentoring a bit, you reckon you'd be interested in that, or you would?
I'll definitely give it a nudge. But I mean, I'm sort of a fan of putting my success down to having a good car and good crew and good support around you. And I've got all of that. I've got a good car from Dad, I've got good crew, and I've got good support from Brittany and that. So, but 100%, if I did even need to, if someone ever come to me for advice, I would do my best to help them. But there's the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You know what I mean? So I'll put my 10 cents in and try and help the young kids move up. But if they listen or not, then that's two different stories. But like I say, it's definitely, you have to have good gear though. You have to have really good gear, and that's what myself and Asher and Josh have. We've got good gear, and that's part of being a successful driver.
Mate, let's talk quickly before we let you go. And the merch, I see there's a lot of merch being up and about on the social media. People buying all the Rees race car merch. I know there's the 123 and Z merch. That's all been going well. Even your 127G stuff's all going well.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. Like I say, it's sort of everywhere you look now, especially even outside of Speedway. I was at the plaza the other day, and I walked past probably 5 or 6 kids with my hoodies on. I was like, flipping heck, it's getting out there. But that's the sort of like merchandise for myself, but the whole Rees team really is very, 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 very hard to do. And we were fortunate to have Matt and Sam from Graphics HQ, and they run the Dirt Locker thing on Facebook. So they were fortunate for them to do our merch, and it's taken off, and everyone loves it. Just like I say, you can't walk anywhere without seeing someone in anyone's merch, especially one of ours. So it's cool to see.
Yeah, mate. All right, you know how it all works. It all starts good in your camp when you got a good pair of red bands. That's where it starts. It starts in the red bands. We know that. That's what makes.
I'm all good for the red bands.
Yeah, I went to a funeral today. I actually wore with red bands in my dress clothes. Everyone laughed at me, but I tell you, mate, got to wear the red bands.
Hey, now,
commitment.
And our kids and I were working on that before the show, mate. And you better not celebrate too much after these big meetings, because you end up having a second baby.
I know. It's sort of it is all fingers point to that New Zealand. So you did right. Maybe you should really knock on the head.
Oh, mate.
Unless you're starting your own Gizzy Giants team, future proofing.
That's part of future proofing, because I'll give these young guys, I'll give the current development team 10 years to get into it. Then my boy will be ready to get into it, and I'll carry on going from there. So it's all part of future proofing Gisborne. That's what it's all about.
Just don't tell me, bro, that it was down in the Huntley pits. I'll leave it at that. No, just joking.
But you know,
Gotta-
once, like Horse said earlier, I heard the end of this conversation. So you know, you guys are superstars in our sport now. Everyone's talking about Kokpit media. As much as you guys are trying to promote us, you guys are doing an awesome job promoting you guys. And thank you guys for taking time to interview me. Booker's been on my case for the last 3 or 4 weeks, but I keep on giving the flick. I've just been a bit under the pump. So thanks for having me. I'm glad I took the time out because it's actually quite cool to talk about Speedway and on air, on live. So no, thank you both for your time. And
Awesome, bro.
I'll no doubt be watching Sunday on your next Capital RC racing thing on
Yeah,
Facebook.
mate.
So it should be
Yeah,
good.
it should be good.
Yeah.
That next, the round 2 South Island champs. So a big one straight off the bat this Sunday.
How come there's none at Gizzy? It's just not a track in the game yet?
We haven't put the track through yet. So we've still got a lot of tracks to do, but they take like it takes dirt a long time. Like he'd done it all for the old factor, but he wants to do everything new instead of just transferring over. And you got to get all the photos, and so feel free when you're down there next time, mate, to take 100,000 photos and send them through to me. I'll send them through to Dirt, and we'll give him a hurry up. Tell Dad if he wants to sponsor him. Tell Dad if Rees wants to sponsor him to make the track, he'll make it and put Rees all over it, mate.
I'll tell you what we do, Ethan. Here, look here, Rees, you can talk to him now. You can ask him. He's on the end of the moment. There you go.
I wasn't quite ready to be brought back in like that.
he wants Gizzy, mate. He wants the Gizzy track, banking and everything.
The bank version, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything's possible, mate. It can be done. It's just got to have the right amount of time and resources.
Just do 72 hours with no sleep. You'll be right.
72 hours.
Yeah. No, I think the tracks actually take a bit longer than 72 hours, to be fair. But
really,
unlike the previous games, and that they take a lot longer, unfortunately. So that's why we've only got about eight or 9 in there at the moment. So
yeah,
ideally, I'd like to have all 20 something, especially NZ tracks, but.
One day. Good things take time.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, well, all these E-series keep popping up, you see. So with the cars and skins and that, I'm sort of get deflected from the tracks. But.
Yeah.
You just need to get yourself ready for the next E-series that comes around, the next Superstocks one in another 12 months' time, Ethan. Make sure you get your rig sorted, eh?
Yeah, I'll try to get sorted by then, eh?
Yeah. I might have to reinforce everybody's back bumper though, because I've seen how you drive in real life. So.
I think they were pretty safe. I'd say we'd be a bit of an amateur on that game. I'd say so. It's quite cool to see. It'd be quite cool to get into it. So
the best thing about that game is when you get the damage, you just hit the escape button on your keyboard and you get a brand new car.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, pretty much all the guys that have come on board for this, it's one of the first things they've said too. It's bloody good to do this and not have any damage.
Yeah. Bloody good.
But we interviewed Alan Levine a little while back, good 6 months or so back, Ethan, and he mentioned his boys, Keegan and Ethan, and he reckons the boys picked up their trade from the early years of racing online, especially when it comes to teams, where to put your car, make it work. And
Kevin Tanifa was the same too.
Kevin Tanifa was the same. They've learned a fair few tricks just from the online sim. So, it's a good bloody thing.
You can actually see how, because it is virtually, as you are racing the stock car in a way without the proper crashing and bashing. So you can see how and how it can make a difference. Okay,
I will definitely get you on the VR experience when we get to the track next time we see you mate anyway, and see if any fans want to challenge you.
Yeah, I'm sure they win.
You might actually have to have a camera with you there, Books, and record these.
Oh no, we'll do it live. We'll go live from the tracks with the VR experience, mate.
Even better,
yeah. Oh yeah. We'll go live.
Yeah, I reckon.
We're all about having fun at the end of the day, enjoying ourselves.
And then we'll have the bloopers reel, and we'll put your dad in the sim.
That'd be a big blooper on its own.
He did say he was going to have a go, though.
Yeah. He's going to have a go, and we just got to push a button so the car, when it's on the straight, does the pirouette by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, all good, guys. Thank you,
Awesome,
guys.
mate. Well,
Cheers.
thanks for coming
Cheers,
on. I appreciate. I know you're a busy man with your family life and work life now, Ethan. So appreciate you taking the time to talk to us tonight. And we wish you all the best. And can't wait to hear the news that number 2 is born, mate.
Yeah, no, you'll definitely post on Facebook. So yeah, no, thank you all.
Sweetest. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Thank
See
you.
later.
See you, bud.
Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah, there you
well,
go, dude. A couple of drivers here endorsing the game. We had Horse on earlier on, Ross Ashby, just enjoying watching last Sunday. And then Ethan saying there's few words there. The boy wants to jump in with us when he gets some time. He got another Bubs on the way December. So maybe next year, 24, you might have to have another E-Series with maybe 2 groups of real drivers. I don't know what his key is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we are going to get a lot more interest come the next one after this. So yeah, I mean our cockpit boys might have to get used to the idea of qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like the real thing, eh?
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Amron, Dirt NZ, you handsome dude. There you go. Bloody M's. Well, I think that's
we'll
about
just-
a wrap for tonight, eh?
Yeah, I think that's a wrap. I think it was great talking to Horse. It's some real insight there, his passion into the Busters, and talking with Ethan, getting a look at. I mean, he's obviously a very, very busy boy with his work life and family life at the moment. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see them all in the new season. Good to talk to them. Have a good shed night. Our winner of our Capital RC Superstock E-Series, Dirt NZ, and creator, Dirt Shop Creations, and creator of the online racing games, not just the super stocks, but stock cars, saloons, modifieds, street stocks, and classics as well. So all those mods. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't shown much of the classics. I don't think we've done any of the classics streaming, have we?
No, we might have done a while
Probably
back.
back in
Maybe.
the day.
Yeah, maybe a while back. But on that note, Kins, another good night. Everyone be safe this week. Enjoy your week and tune in on Sunday night from about 8:15. I might start a bit earlier than that and get a few people on to talk to them for you guys. So, yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to interview the race winners between races?
I probably
this
will.
week?
But hopefully, I think I've sorted all my problems out. So,
Yeah.
my problem last week was I still was having problems. But up this week, up this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, so I thought I'd get up and I started doing work on the stream, and I think I've sussed it all out. So I might do a test
Yeah.
and see, but I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. So tune in, people. It'll be bigger and better this weekend. Trust me. Bloody better be, otherwise I'll throw an extra on my TV. No.
I just got to get this in their way, not in classics. Is that Kins or the cars you're talking about?
Yeah.
Bloody way. Cheers, Kerry. Thanks for watching, Kerry Remnants. Thanks everyone for the good comments on the show. Good luck to Horse, nominated for the awards at Bay Park, most consistently prepared car and crew, Superstocks, and also for Sports Person of the Year. But mate, it's been a good night, and thanks to everyone for the questions and just sharing the night. We'll be back again, like Booker said, on Wednesday with another shed night.
Well, yeah. Thanks, team. Enjoy your week. Be safe. See you Sunday night.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Give it the hoot, Eddie.